Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video. Today I am playing in the small white creative journal from Art by Marlene. I absolutely love this little journal, it's so lovely to work in. I'm playing on a double page spread. I tend to do double pages in these little journals, just quite a nice size to work in. I'm going to be using one of the luxury paper elements from Marlene as well. Starting off with a bit of her collage paper, just thinking about how I'm going to use that to kind of ground my image. Using Art by Marlene sticky glue, it does what it says, it's pretty sticky. And then I'm going to go in straight away with my image. So sometimes I kind of build a story around my image that I've chosen. I don't always work in the same way. Sometimes I'll have an idea of something that I need to journal about. Sometimes I'll start with the colours, sometimes with the image. So I think having that flexibility in the way that you approach what you're doing is a good thing to do. I knew I wanted to use bold colours, of course. So this little sheep is a very creative chap. He's got his paintbrush and his little frame ready, so I decided I would have some colours flowing out of his paintbrush. So I'm going in using Marlene's paints, of course, and I'm using one of her brushes too, and just going to swoop those colours in across that page. So these pages haven't got any gesso on either, they're just, I'm just using them exactly as they are. I knew that really I just wanted to add this colour onto the page and wasn't planning on doing any fancy techniques. Just going to keep it fairly simple. So with this green, I do tend to mix a bit of yellow in. I like a kind of bright, fresh green, and the green in Marlene's paints for me is a little bit dark. So just adding a little bit of the warm yellow to that is a really great way to go. So I'm adding in these colours. As you can see, keeping that kind of wavy line and just trying to make it look like they're flowing out of the brush. So this is one of the stencils from last year's advent calendar box. It's one with a little bit of text on. I decided I would just add a simple bit of black stenciling onto the background, not making that too complicated at the moment, although it does end up being quite busy, but you'll see what happens. So then I'm just using a black gel pen and I'm going in and adding some sketchy loose lines onto that rainbow shape that's on my page, that kind of flat flash of colour, just loosely marking out where these colours are. I'm not trying to be neat here. Quite often when I do this kind of mark making, I'm holding my pen really loosely and I'm just adding in a couple of lines. That kind of deliberately slightly messy look is better than trying to be perfect, I think, and it kind of gives it that sort of artsy vibe as well. Okay, so this is where the splattering starts. I ended up going a bit splatter crazy. My little chopped down splatter brush comes in for a bit of stick. It's very funny. Yeah, I'm safer when it's smaller, and just adding some splatters using some of these bright colours just to break up that background and make it look like the little sheep's been having lots and lots of fun. So then to add a little bit more texture to the page and interest, I'm just going in with some stamps. I'm overlapping the stamping onto the paint. So then that just helps to kind of join it all together and make it feel like it flows and it's a bit more cohesive. So you can see basically around the little image that I've used, the only background that I've created here is the stenciling with the text on, some of the splatters and a little bit of stamping. So it doesn't have to be complicated all the time. You don't have to be going in for loads and loads and loads of layers to create that really sort of interesting journal page. So I'm going to use the flow of the colours on the page as my guide for writing my words. I'm going to make them kind of try and follow the lines and the way that that's moving. This is an easy way to get writing onto your page, really. You're kind of using the guide that you've already created with the colours that you've popped on there. I'm just using a Posca pen. It's not a particularly thick one, but I can go in and add a bit more depth to some of these letters once I've got the words in place. So then I'm just using what I call a fat Posca pen, a really chunky one. Just adding some bigger dots on there just to make that, I don't know, just to bring a bit more interest, because we've got quite a lot of little splatters. But here it is, the final page. Nice and simple, easy to make. I hope you've found some inspiration watching this, enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon.